Topping today's news, the Prime Minister thankful the impact of Imelda was minimized through good preparation. The Prime Minister also addressing concerns related to immigration issues as it relates to Haitian nationals. Foreign Affairs Minister defending the integrity of the passport office, and a teenager suspected of being involved in the Ridgeland Park mass shooting appears in court. This is your JCN Evening News. I'm Jarino Saunders. Thank you so much for joining us. Tropical storm Imelda is no longer a threat to the Bahamas, and although it was not a violent storm, it quietly left its damage in the way of massive floodings. Tropical storm Imelda is no longer a threat to the Bahamas, and although it was not a violent storm, it quietly left its damage in the way of massive flooding. On Monday night, Prime Minister Philip Davis thanked those that were on the forefront of preparing residents for the storm for their efforts, which undoubtedly reduced the storm's impact in terms of life and property damage.
In the past few days, our islands have been tested once again by Tropical Storm Imelda. I've been fully briefed on the storm's impact. I want to thank the Disaster Risk Management Authority for its leadership. I want to thank our island administrators for their coordination. I want to thank Bahamians across our islands who took warnings seriously, evacuated when needed, and looked out for one another. And I want to thank the Deputy Prime Minister, who in my absence held the reins admirably. Because of your preparation, lives were saved.
Despite the storm no longer being a threat to the Bahamas, Prime Minister Davis still urging residents to stay off the streets as much as possible, as flooding remains a challenge.
Notwithstanding, the aftermath is serious. Floodwater remains. Roads are unsafe. I urge you to stay off the roads unless absolutely necessary. Our Ministry of Works and its partners are already out there cleaning, restoring, and rebuilding. They need space to do their jobs. Please, give them that space.
There are some massive potholes on streets here in the capital, and to avoid damaging your vehicle, it is best to stay off the roads until the water subsides. The subject of immigration and protecting Bahamian sovereignty against an influx of Haitian nationals trying to escape the dysfunction and violence in their country is a major concern among many Bahamians. During a press conference on Monday evening, Prime Minister Philip Davis was asked about those immigration concerns. He reminded that he has already taken a firm stance in this regard and will continue to do so.
The U.S. government asked me to sign a treaty when we had a CARICOM U.S. summit at Summit of Americas, which would to assist in seeking permission from the Bahamas to accept a certain amount of Haitians. My colleagues like Barbados, Guyana, Trinidad, they signed. I did not. I indicated them that I could not. And they've asked, and since then they've asked again. And I said, I could not. Our front line, we are disproportionately impacted by the issues that impact Haiti. And we cannot take on any more than what we have been forced to take on because of the circumstances of our geography. And that's the position.
As it relates to the United States' decision to designate the U.S. Embassy Nassau as the location for Haitian nationals in the region to apply for U.S. visas, the Prime Minister explained his government's position.
The visa situation with the United States, that's their decision. But for them to come to the Bahamas, they need a visa from our government to let them in, to be able to go to the embassy here to get their visa. That's the decision of the United States government. We're not going to get involved in that decision of theirs. But the Haitian national has to be in the Bahamas to be able to go there. And we are protecting our borders to ensure that we protect Bahamians in this country, to ensure that there's no competition for services and no competition for jobs. And we'll do what it takes to get that done.
The government has explained earlier that with a suspension by the United States accepting new visa applications by Haitian nationals, the Bahamas will not allow Haitian nationals to enter the country for that purpose, the purpose of applying for a U.S. visa. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Fred Mitchell, continues to defend the integrity of the passport office in the face of accusations, mainly by the Coalition of Independents, that has raised concerns over what they say is a large number of passports being granted to Haitian nationals. Mitchell reassured the public that the passport office is in good standing and that there is no illegal activities taking place.
It is important for me to reassure the public that our visa and passport issuance processes and procedures are safer than they've ever been. There are those politicians out there making up stories and accusations and have produced no evidence to show any fraud except newspaper articles, and all lawyers know that previous consistent statements are no proof of the truth of those assertions. In other words, the coalition of its hope that by repeating lies, the public will believe them and think it's true. Fortunately for us, the coalition have been found out to be empty, blowhard liars.
Mr. Mitchell then cried shame on the COI for what he describes as their willingness to damage the reputation of the country for political gain. Mr. Mitchell urged Bahamians to ignore them.
Why they want to sully the reputation of our passport and visa procedures is beyond belief. They would wreck these documents, valued documents, just so they can get political power. Slam the door in their faces.
Last week, Charlotte Green, the chairman of the Coalition of Independents, was questioned by police over comments she made on social media, accusing the government of giving away passports like candy, allegedly. She was released without charge. And finally, in this segment, from the courts, on Monday, a 16-year-old boy was charged in connection with the mass shooting that killed 2 young men and injured 5 others on August 9th on Robertha Drive in Ridgeland Park West, just off Robinson Road. The incident was captured on video camera and showed 2 gunmen exiting a silver Nissan Cube and opening fire on a group of men. The 16-year-old was charged with 2 counts of murder in the death of Eden Luis and Markintash St. Teal. He was also charged with 3 counts of attempted murder. He was remanded and will return to court on December 10th. Police investigations, though, continue into this matter as they seek the second shooter and the driver of the getaway vehicle. We'll take a break here. We'll be right back following these commercials.